because I think the South African side are very good. The only problem is converting chances is one of the biggest problems. Against Algeria, they also tried as much as possible to win that game, even though they went behind. But then they were able to get a draw. Against Nigeria, it was a palpable performance from them where they couldn't score goal. But then again, let's see how it goes here. If they really want to get to the next stage, like I said earlier,
yes, sir.
They are a team who, yes, they have a very good league. They've been to this tournament once, 2, 3 times, but then they've not been able to get into the semi-finals of this tournament, and that's a terrible one for them. So I feel they really want to step up this game and see if they can get that win here against the host nation.
Indeed, the host nation does have so much support also on the comment section of our stream on YouTube. Nabangi Faith says, Uganda, OE! I'm sure that means, you cheering for them somehow. Faith, you have to have faith in them.
Maybe it means Oya now.
If you just be, let me go now.
Yes.
Really,
like,
that's PG Lion to me speaking.
Vamos.
South Africa are coming forward again from that left-hand side. And it's the shot stopper for Uganda, who has to touch the ball again, really. This game has been lively, the early exchanges. Falake Olatunji, just to pronounce that right, says, good to see you, Mr. Chuman Noli. I have missed you and your rhymes. Thank you so much, Falake. It's Techno that sang the song to me. Falake, give me love.
Techno is always loving so many girls. So
how you take no, my brother?
You never can tell which one he really loves.
Falake, thank you so much for your thoughts. We appreciate you connecting to the broadcast this time too. Before Mampe says it's going to be South Africa beating Uganda by 2-1. Lovely info. I'm sure you are South African. Nice to have you join us too. Omale Hassan says South Africa have a good record over Uganda. And for Lua Damilare John just says anticipating. Now you are participating, because I and Timmy will not be precipitating. Eh? Thank you for joining us too. Prophet Hilbert, God is power, says I hope Nigeria beats Sudan again. That will be Nigeria's home-based Super Eagles, who play tomorrow. We'll be here to bring to you that game as well too. Keep your thoughts coming through on your predictions. This from Wentz says, guys, we don't okay, Wentz, well, this is how we do things, and I'm sure that you get used to it at this stage. Let's get back to the action, shall we? South Africa passing the ball from behind of his. In fact, it was a Felele who drifted, should have started as one of these centre-backs, who drifted towards the right-hand side to help out. Now himself and Ngoni will be trying to move forward for South Africa with Probin Roach. They're coming in from this left-hand channel. That has been their strong point so far in this game, the Southern African nation. Shirley Mashego with some overlapping runs. Gets a throwing for his side, Mashego. And jersey number 14, he'll be taking the throwing for the team on yellow and green. In fact, he decides to drop the ball for a teammate who will now have that one, as we see Uganda trying to defend. And I dare say with Dolly, for South Africa there will be no dolling.
They've not been dolling in terms of attacking play. You have to give it to them. I like the fact that in as much as they're trying to attack, we always see about 4 of them.
Glaring Uganda are building. They're getting better than their past previous records.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Quite a bit, not because he didn't have more to say, but because we saw Uganda's mates.
At all.
South Africa have some of the best clubs in Africa and have arguably the best league.
Yeah, trendsetter. Whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. Not my bestseller. Bullseye hit it the most, is no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the most.
The Nigeria Premier Football League has not been doing well enough in the past, as we saw quality from South Africa. Dolly, the man, really moving forward. You know, when Nigeria got knocked out with 2 defeats from their first 2 games, there was the argument already that that may just be a reason why Nigerians believe the Nigeria Premier Football League is not good enough, even though our league has become better in recent years. But they had to use that. Well, the packaging a bit more, you know. People have had costs to watch live stream of games from Propel and Star Times last season.
I don't know about that.
And at least now they synchronize their calendar with the top leagues in Europe.
I really don't
August
know
to May.
I don't know about that.
Oh, wow. Wow, ambulance.
I really don't know about that. And I don't think I want to agree with that.
Okay, so.
Because, like, you know, no, in as much as I don't like to judge a team coming to a tournament by their league, you still have to question Nigerian league. Because the basis of you judging a league is how far or how well the clubs do in terms of continental engagement. You talk about CAF Champions League, CAF Confederations Cup, and the rest of them. So, for me, I feel the Nigerian league is nothing to write home about at this point in time. Like it or hate it or like it, whatever you want to do. That's just my opinion. I feel we can do better than we are doing at this point in time. I feel that the body in charge of the league should be able to front that idea of making the league a better place, or a better one where we have good representatives, and not just every now and then we keep having the same set of results where our teams fail to progress into the group stages of this continental championship. I feel that's the criteria with which I need to judge any league on African continent. So, that being said, like we said, for the Ugandans, they also don't have a very fantastic league, but then they've always been to this CHAN tournament. So, for the Super Eagles, I think this is only their third time of being at this CHAN competition. So, it's also not something you can balance in terms of Uganda being at this tournament. This is their seventh appearance, I think.
Impressive, man. This is crazy.
And their league is nothing to write home about. Let's like it or hate it. I think the only team I recognize there, I think Vipers or something. That's the only club I know there. So for the Ugandans, they will cherish these moments that they can have the opportunity to host this kind of competition and also progress past the group stages.
Indeed, as we keep making progress in the studio right now, it's been 13 minutes of action so far. South Africa nil, Uganda nil, and the shot stopper for the East African nation in Uganda would pass the ball forward and give possession back to South Africa. Keep your thoughts coming through if you can. Of course, you know that we love to reward you with some goodies if you put out the right prediction. By halftime, we'll be done taking your predictions. You can drop what you think will be the final scoreline of this game. You could be one of our lucky winners on Facebook or on YouTube. 5,000 Nigerian Naira each for those platforms. A winner from each platform. Good luck to you in advance. So jump on a TV you can. Also let us know if you are from South Africa or Uganda, where are you watching this game from? And how well do you think your team can perform tonight?
They've been very dominant. We've been putting some very good passes together. The only problem now is just making sure those passes materialize in the 10-yard box of the Ugandans. I feel South Africans are controlling the tempo of this game. They are not giving any opportunity at all to the Ugandans.
Maybe they will give them now a chance as Uganda come through from the right-hand channel. Twisting and turning, a shot and goal. Bodies on the line for South Africa to stop that one. And what a save by Zulu. But South Africa have been knocking on the door with more possession in this game. But when Uganda came forward, it was going to be a different ball game entirely. They've had the best chance of scoring in the match so far with this glorious opportunity and a save by Zulu. Corner kick for Uganda.
You have to say this is the first time I'm seeing the Ugandans come into the 18-yard box of the South Africans, and they've shown that truly they just need half a chance to be able to convert. It was a very lucky save there because it was double deflection more or less. Before the ball went out for a corner, the goalkeeper had a hand in it. Also, the defender, the ball had to go through his leg. So it was a lucky save there for the South Africans that they didn't concede first.
Really lucky one for South Africa right there. And now there will be that corner kick as we have the center referee speaking to two players, one from South Africa and the other one from Uganda. The fans are getting excited right now. They believe that this could be the moment of magic for their side. Corner kick from the right-hand channel will be an in-swing out with the left foot of the Ugandan player. Ball launched in! There was a free head. I'm not too sure what happened there, but the free head I came through from Mukundane. He's been the one knocking on this door, Mukundane. Yeah, his free header going off target. He should have done better with that one. We're just going to see that chance again for the goal for the Cranes.
That was
the same player, Mukundane.
Yeah, the pass wasn't really very fantastic, but you have to say he made use of whatever was in front of him and just tried to push or poke that ball into the net. But luckily for the South Africans, they got away with that one, with that just fingertip saves from the goalkeeper. So I feel that the South Africans need to be wary at this point in time. We've seen them dominate passes, we've seen them dominate play, but the Ugandans just needed one chance to be in the box and trouble their goalkeeper. So they'll need to be very, very wary in terms of how they allow the Ugandans settle into this match.
Indeed, and Uganda are settling in now, really, with some passes. All of a sudden, there seems to be more confidence in this home nation's drive. Okello will come forward from the right-hand channel. The switch play from right to left. By the way, Okello is a superstar in this Ugandan team. He scored 2 goals so far for them. Out of the 5 goals they have netted in the competition in 3 matches, Okello has scored 2. It's South Africa with 62% of the possession. Uganda with 38, but for fans of European club football, I'm sure you're going to remember how Manchester United had more possession than Arsenal yesterday, but it was Arsenal that won, and it looks like Uganda want to do the same too. South Africa have dominated, but when Uganda came forward, they gave us the best chance in the match so far.
And I think they're very, very compact in terms of how they're trying to play football here. Talking about the Ugandans, we've seen again that opportunity that they had, almost got them that goal. Just only that the goalkeeper was allowed to make that fingertip save. So I feel the Ugandans are really, really trying their best to settle into this game, and they're beginning to get into their strides, and that's a worry. That should be a worry for the South Africans, because each time that they have the ball, it's like they just want to pass and pass and pass and pass, and not really doing much with it. Trying to get into the 18-yard box, not really doing much with the ball possession that they possess, that they have. But the Ugandans have shown quality in terms of what they want to do when they have the ball, and they're taking it to the South Africans. But all of this will only matter if one of them gets the first goal in this match.
And that first goal could come now for South Africa. The goalkeeper for Uganda, the man Mutakubwa, actually came out off his line, could not get to the ball in time. There was a free header for Bafana, but that one goes off target, and this game is really coming alive at this stage. Lovely to see for sure. Johannes with the opportunity for Bafana.
I think Mutakubwa was very lucky.
Come out and you know, normally as a goalkeeper, when you come out like that, you have to touch the ball.
Yeah, you don't get caught in no man's land, man. Because for the life of me, if you're coming out to punch a ball, make sure your hand gets to that ball. And coming out from the distance where he had to run out to meet that ball, it was just unsafe. I think it was a very risky take from Mutakubwa there. He was lucky that that ball went just over the bar. But for me, it was a very careless risk that he took there. It was unnecessary. If he had stayed in his line, that header, he could have been able to even catch that ball or maybe make a save. It would be better to make that save than just coming out and being caught in no man's land.
He's lucky that he was not punished for that. Now Uganda themselves too want to get something right with a cross from the left-hand channel. Mpanda with the final touch, but easily saved by goalkeeper Zulu for Bafana. South Africa in the last FIFA Club World Cup. And the USA had a team in Sundowns who did not do badly, arguably the best performing African side in that competition. Just a reminder again of the kind of quality they have in their league, South Africa. They need to make that count now in this competition for players that only feature in their home leagues. So I think that, you know, when we talk about the main Bafana team, the one that plays in the Africa Cup of Nations, the one that has a World Cup qualifier against Nigeria in the coming weeks, many of those players in the senior team, Team A, are from their league. That should give them some kind of advantage over teams like Uganda and co, because you should be able to have your best legs from Sundowns, from all of those great sides, really.
Yeah, the South Africans.
And bring them here to this tournament.
Yeah, the South Africans in this tournament said they wanted to give opportunities to those fringe players who have not been able to get into the national team setup. And if you look at it critically, this is not a core team from that national team of Bafana. We don't have the regulars here like you would have seen. So it tells you that this is more or less like the second string side. Apart from the fact that also their main national team is thoroughly home-based. Majority of those players are home-based players. You have to say this is a different set of home-based players who have been able to get into this team and trying to make a name for themselves. So all of that really will matter if they can just get that goal here and make sure they keep progressing in this competition. But like you said, in terms of qualification for the World Cup and the rest of it, I think Bafana are in pole position to qualify for the World Cup. Even though I want Nigeria to go, but then we know how it is. I think it's an uphill task for us right now, where it's going to be very difficult for us to get 6 points in the next window. That's next month. But all of that will matter if they can get the first 3 points against Rwanda at home first, and going to meet the South African side, who are thoroughly home-based, and also doing a very good job on the continent in terms of how they play football.
Amazing job, really. They have been doing the World Cup qualifying series. South Africa 6 points ahead of Nigeria Super Eagles. They have the ball right now in Chan. Competition where they have a chance to progress. As things stand, let's just go to the other game involving Algeria and Niger Republic, so we can paint that clear picture for you as to what things are like at this moment. It's 22 minutes played across the two centers. Still Algeria nil, Niger Republic nil, South Africa nil, Uganda nil. What this will mean is Uganda and Algeria will qualify into the quarterfinals if those two games, these two games, end the way the results are at this stage. Right, what is not the results, the way the score lines are at this stage, which is even Stevens 0-0 across the two centers. If no goals are scored, then it will be Algeria and Uganda in the quarterfinals. South Africa will be knocked out. Another reason why they need to score here.
Yeah, they have to. That was a clear foul.
Yeah.
Talking about
so much around for the guy, indeed, my brother.
Trying to win back the ball, but then it was more or less still hacking the leg of the defender. But I like the fact that the South Africans are trying as much as possible to get into the 18-yard box of the Ugandans. But what I like more is the fact that the Ugandans, it's like they realize that this is what they want. They want to be able to play and use the balls to get into our 18-yard. Let's just watch them do what they want to do. But when they are coming to our 18-yard box, we then try to stop them. I think that's what the Ugandans are trying to do. They are not taking the game to the South Africans like you would have expected. They're just waiting for them. Okay, play what you want, play look what they see. And just when they lose the ball, they run on them, they run at them and away they counter. So I think the Ugandans are very, very smart here, trying to just play cool and calm, while the South Africans are hurrying themselves to get the ball into the other half of the field where they can get the goals that they need.
Those goals they need at this stage. Your comments too make sense to us. I'll be reading those comments shortly. South Africa were trying to come forward, but Uganda have cleared the lines. Falake Olatunji saying that the final score line for this one will be South Africa 1, Uganda 1. Interesting. Let's look ahead to that one. Nakandi Bangi says Uganda. And it goes with the earlier the one we got was OIE. Now it's OIE. That must mean something in Ugandan language, I can imagine. Can you tell us what that means? Says Uganda, OIE. And King Boy Boku just says Uganda. Dorothy, the words are let's go Uganda. It's nice. We have several great persons from Uganda watching the broadcast at this time. You're hosting this tournament is one of the 3 co-hosts, and it'll be nice to see how far you can go. Uganda, by the way, have never progressed beyond the group stage of this tournament in all of their appearances. So history could be made tonight if they achieve that feat in front of tens of thousands of their fans. Have a goal kick. That'll be taken shortly. 24 minutes of action so far. South Africa nil, Uganda nil. 54 Football X bringing this one to you. So we're this dedicated as to covering the very best of African football for you. So please don't just stumble on this and run away. It'll be nice if you can subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. You can support us by subscribing to our channel. You can also drop a super chat too. One of our great friends from Uganda and South Africa. So we keep inundating you with the very best of African football. Ball launched in by South Africa into the penalty area of Uganda. Headed out by the Cranes. And I'll consistently check our timeline. You'll see how much we have done in the last year and a half. Brought to you the Africa Cup of Nations early last year. Brought to you the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Also spoke about the performances of our under-20 lads in the Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations. We do have all of these massive, exciting things for you. And you sure don't want to miss out on that to see you join us every single time. We're promoting the very best of African football. That's why we're here. Uganda with the ball from the right-hand channel. 63% of the possession for South Africa. Uganda on 37. Southern African nation. Bafana. It's a privilege for them. They have never had cause to play against a host nation in Chan before now. So we've seen them have 2 corner kicks in this game compared to Uganda's 1. So this is their first meeting against a team that's host of Chan. And also South Africa's first meeting against a team from East Africa in this competition. Uganda play the ball out. Corner kick, it should be for South Africa, I think. But Mashego, while he was battling and telling the referee, there should be a penalty or something, the referee says, hey, my friend, can you wait? It's a corner kick, first of all.
That was a timely tackle from Kizito. You have to give it to him.
Yeah.
he saw the danger. He ran just in time to make sure that he had a leg in that ball. Even though, from the look of things, I don't think he really touched that ball. But then he's sliding, made sure that that ball couldn't go past him. I think I like the fact that he was able to slide in a way to make sure that ball didn't go past him. Maybe knock on knock in terms of the knees touching both the knees of Kisito, touching the attacking player. But I don't think that's a penalty in 100 years to come.
I'm thinking if it's not a penalty, then maybe it shouldn't be a corner kick either too. Because I wonder if Kisito had a foot to that ball. I'm not too certain though, but corner kick for South Africa from the left-hand side. And Nisungava across. The goalkeeper comes out, saves it at the second time of asking. He seems to have a reasonable challenge with aerial balls. The goalkeeper from Uganda, who seems to fumble with these balls.
I think he's G3 at this point. That's what I'm seeing from the goalkeeper Mutukubwa. I think he needs to be just steady. He needs to be calm and make sure that he doesn't do silly mistakes that will cost his team. Because at this point in time, when your team is really not the one chasing the game, you just have to be calm. You have to be confident in terms of how you come out to catch balls, whether you want to catch them, whether you want to parry them, whether you want to punch them. Just be decisive and be calm about it. So I think for Mutakubwa, he needs to do better in terms of handling the ball in the 18-yard box.
Sure has to do better. South Africa coming forward again. Goal-getters they have in this team. But that midfield block for Uganda, having the likes of Watam and Cole are defending. Here they'll come again. Passing the ball from the right-hand channel. The Cranes, but they have lost possession to South Africa. The drama we saw in the first 10 minutes of this has just got...
Life's an adventure, and the 2025 Honda Ridgeline is built for all of it. Whether it's tackling rugged trails with standard all-wheel drive and a towing capacity up to 5,000 pounds, or heading out on...
They'll have Felele. They've switched to a three-man defensive lineup. They would try to attack. Indeed, lovely stuff. Those overlapping runs by Felele. Cross from the right side, saved by goalkeeper Mutakubwa. So we have a view of some of the Ugandan fans who have come out to watch this game. Really building confidence South Africa. It was actually Kutumela who was supposed to be their point man. Jersey number 7, he drifted wide to the right side to take that cross. Two players on jersey number 7 for either team have been trying to weave a bit of magic from the right side with crosses. We saw Uganda do that a few minutes ago before South Africa had their chance. And now his goalkeeper Zulu again. He will pass the ball from the back. Beautiful to see. Building confidence this Bafana team who had more of the possession. Now they'll be searching for the goal. Dolly with the ball. He'll spread it wide to the left channel. Could be a chance for a squared ball. It's done. An opportunity for a shot and goal. A deflection stops that one from Kutumela from getting into the back of the net or troubling the goalkeeper for Uganda. It's out for a corner kick for South Africa.
Nice move from the South Africans. You have to give it to them. Sleeky passes, sleeky moves. And for Kutumela, that was just fantastic turning to beat his marker, give himself space, look at the goalpost. Well, he's trying to make sure he places that ball. I would have thought that maybe he would have gone with a little bit of more power, but then he preferred placement over power, and he's got in the corner for it.
At least they have a corner kick, another one in this, coming on the half-hour mark. And goalkeeper Mutakubwa really has to be careful now because we've seen him shaky with some of these aerial balls. We don't want to make any mistake that jeopardizes the chances of his team qualifying to the next round. The referee speaks to players from the two sides. Now the corner kick will be taken shortly from the left side of attack for South Africa. Will be an in-swinger, I perceive. Yes. We'll have that shortly for the team on yellow and green. One of the tall players for South Africa will surely be that man. Falele, he decided to take the corner kick shots to Dolly. Dolly sent it towards the center. Long ball now from that center. Uganda rebuff. And have defended well enough the East Africans. Here now they will come forward. Mpande is launching forward on jersey number 14 from the left-hand channel. Ball will be squared through from there. There could be the goal! Whatever is good for the goose is good for the gander. But this Ugandan side are showing they're not in for propaganda. They are certainly shining bright. The team from Uganda, what a quick, fast break. It sounds like tautology, but that's the reality really. It was really fast, that break of theirs. And the home side in front of tens of thousands of fans can dance. South Africa 0, Uganda 1.
Like we said earlier, it's about Ugandans knowing when to go for that attacking move. The South Africans were trying to get a goal here. They got a corner. They were still trying to penetrate or put pressure on the defense of the Ugandans, and bam, they got a fantastic counter attack that has resulted in the goal. I think for the Ugandans, you just have to give credit to Mpande there, who took that ball, and also the pass that came into the box, fantastic. I think it's more of a team goal rather than an individual goal. Fantastic passes from the left wing into the center, and who was there to deliver? Semugabi was in there. We've been seeing him drifting from the right side into the central of the attacking play, and you just have to give also plenty applaud to Kakande, who also I think gave that pass to Semugabi. It was a good goal, a team effort from the Ugandans, and like we said earlier, it's been coming. They've always wanted this counter. They've always been anticipating the counter, and they've finally caught South Africans just behind their back.
Indeed, says Mugabe with that goal. And what a way to open scoring. South Africa have been doing the playing. Uganda have done the scoring. That's the story of the match so far. They're not done though, the Cranes. They'll come forward again from that left-hand channel, searching for a second goal to kill any drive from Bafana. Across, finds no one in particular out for a goal kick that Zulu will be taking shortly. So 33 minutes played. South Africa 0, Uganda 1.
I think it's now a very, very tricky one for the South Africans, because as it is, they will need to score 2 goals to be able to bounce back into this match, or have an hope, or have the opportunity to get that quarterfinal ticket. I think the Ugandans are going gaga right now. Understand, talking about their fans, they've gotten that goal. You can't say they don't deserve it, because we've seen how well they've been attacking, and now you're seeing the goalkeeper of South African screaming at his defenders. I think they were just lacking concentration in terms of defending when that goal came in. Yes, they only had 2 players in their own half when that counter attack came, so it was a terrible choice from the South Africans. You are seeing now on the table that the Ugandans are moving up the table. Just when you thought that the team who was having the more balls were going to score the goal, but then it was against that the Ugandans had to take their chance when they got that counter.
Yeah, we had spoken a few minutes back about the players and jersey number 7 for either side fighting, or didn't we? And eventually that goal for Uganda came off the boot of the man on jersey number 7 for them. That's Semugabi. They really are rising to the occasion now. 9 points for them. If they can hold on to this advantage, they will be top of the group surely and march into the quarterfinals if South Africa are unable to score goals to fight back. For a side that have never gone beyond the group stage, it's impressive that now they are co-hosts for this tournament. They want to get an unprecedented feat. It will be a team in one edition winning 3 matches, more than they had done in 6 previous editions, a total of 18 games before now, and they had gotten just 2 wins before this year's tournament. Now in this year's tournament they have already gotten 2 wins, hoping to make it 3 with the advantage they are holding on to right now. If you're from Uganda, you can give us some Uganda oh yeah on the comment section. We'll be reading that shortly. South African fans, do you think you guys can fight back in this one? Here they will come now. Well, this man just trying to push a bit here, but not working yet for Dolly.
I think you have to just say it as it is. It's plain point blank that the Ugandans are just relaxed.
Was South Africa could score? Dolly with the attempt, a deflection, but somehow goalkeeper Mutakubwa was not going to be beaten. That came out of nothing. Could have been an own goal, actually.
Yeah, definitely. It was going in as an own goal until the goalkeeper, Mutakubwa, rose to the challenge and also made sure he made that save. fine reflexes from the goalkeeper to be able to keep that one out, even though they still more or less are under pressure from this corner.
Yeah, it's not the first time we're seeing South Africa have a corner kick from the left-hand channel. Will be another in-swinger. But potentially they could want to pass the ball and pass it away to us trying to score. No, we're going to have a cross now. And Mutakubwa comes out. He's going to